Okay, you guys, I had this. Had my flu brew in it. I said, "Here's looking at you, kid," and I downed it. Oh, it is horrible, but very valuable. I'm gonna teach you how to make it. You know, during this time when we're all quarantined because of the coronavirus, the first thing I want to do is give you a little bit of background so that you will understand the coronavirus a little bit better. A lot of people are mad at what's going on, and this hoarding is ridiculous. I'm going out with the story. It's ridiculous. But the good part of that is that people will be finally prepared for a big earthquake, which, you know, we're always saying you need to prepare anyway. So, okay, they're prepared. And they'll get more stuff out there on the shelves. Don't worry about it. All is going to be fine. Now, I want to tell you briefly about this. My son Eric Solis did a research on the coronavirus. He spent 3 hours last Sunday digging in and trying to find out why everybody's so panicky about this particular virus when almost nobody is dying from it. We have very few that have actually contracted it. But here is what we found out in a nutshell. I'm going to try to make this brief. And remember, it's only a theory. We're not doctors or scientists, but in searching back into the different viruses that have hit America in the past, this is what we've discovered. The Spanish flu, which was the very first flu that Americans named when it first happened in 1918, it killed very few people. And they actually, you know, named it. But as that virus mutated, it got more and more serious. Every time it mutated into a new strain, it was more serious and killed more people. So with that said, you know, we know that viruses do mutate. Okay, now I want to just tell you quickly about this one thing also that happened in 1918 when they had these viruses happening. There was one doctor that discovered that if he put his patients outside where they got fresh air, it was called fresh air therapy, in the sun, that they actually recovered, and they did not have any serum or any kind of a thing to heal them with, but they got healed from the fresh air. So regardless of what they say about staying indoors, don't do that. Go outside, get some fresh air, and if there's any sunshine, get it on your face. You know, that's God's natural way of healing. Okay, so with that said, so now I'm talking fast because I have a lot to say in a few minutes. So now, as time goes on, they find that most flu viruses have come from swine in our country. Come on up, Guido. And so we can see why God tells us not to eat swine, right? So anyway, but this particular virus, the coronavirus, they have found has come from a bat. So, and in the past, people over 65 didn't get the viruses as much because they had a natural immunity because it has been around before, and our own immunity as we get it builds up and then we can't get it again. So, but this particular virus, this coronavirus, people over 65, actually over 70 are the ones who are getting it. Actually, over 80 are the ones that are dying. But over 65, there's about 24% of the viruses that have been contacted are people that are older. And so they're concerned because this is not a virus they know anything about. It's a new virus, and they are concerned about that. So, with that said, we need to pay attention to them right now as they try to keep this from mutating. Because right now it is not killing many people at all. It's really a light virus, really in comparatively, but at the same time it's a new virus. They don't know anything about it, and as it mutates, it could get very powerful. So I believe, now remember this is all theory, but in looking at the past, I believe that is what they're doing. They're trying to keep it from mutating. They have to realize it's not killing anywhere near as many people as the viruses have in the past. So with that said, don't panic. Do what they say and quit hoarding. You know what? The only good part about that is that at least now everybody's prepared for an earthquake. They've always wanted us to do that anyway, so now you're prepared. Okay, stop hoarding. You don't need to hoard. And for God's sakes, toilet paper, good grief, hang your butt over the bathtub and wash it. You don't need toilet paper. It's not even an essential. Good grief. Okay, so now, with that said, I want to get in. I have had something. One of my friends gave me this recipe for her flu brew a long time ago, and she is sworn by it. Well, when my daughter-in-law, who is a clinical nutritionist, looked it up, she found that this particular um, recipe is in the old medical journals. And you know, I'm telling you guys, I believe in stuff like this. Now, what I'm about to share with you, if you don't do it, you're just really a dummy, because this will keep you from getting the flu. This could mutate into something. We could end up with a pandemic. They're claiming one now. We don't really have one now, but they're doing it to try to keep it from mutating. So here is my recipe. Now listen to it. It's very simple. You get a quart of Bragg's vinegar, apple cider vinegar. And it has to be one that has the mother in it, okay? And you put it in a glass jar, the whole thing. And then you do 1/4 cup of 6 things, and I'm going to tell you what they are. And all of them are to be grated, and somehow grated. I happen to have a grater that I can put them into and grate it, except for one thing. I'll tell you what I do with that one thing. I put them all in there. I put a 1/4 cup of onion, raw onion, in the grater. A 1/4 cup of garlic, fresh garlic. Don't use anything that isn't fresh here when I talk to you about this. You peel it and you put it in the grater. Now those two things I just go ahead and do together. I just do them together, and then I put them into my my apple cider vinegar. Now remember, everything is a 1/4 cup. And you say, well, how do you measure it when you're grating? Don't worry if you go over under a little bit. I measure it right in the cup before I grate it. Then you get some horseradish, fresh horseradish. That you are going to have to grate on a grater. I peel it with a potato peeler, and I grate it because it's hard. It's a hard one. And you grate it, a 1/4 cup of horseradish. Put that in there. And it's the same with the ginger, fresh ginger. Peel it and then grate it, okay? So grate it and put it in there. And then you're going to do habanero chilies. Ooh, I mean, and they are hot little pistols. And you're gonna cut those with scissors. I do open them and take the stem off. I take the seeds out. There aren't many seeds in the habaneros. But anyway, so you do a 1/4 cup, and you can take a little less of that if you want, because this stuff is hot, okay? But you cut those with the scissors and put them in there. So let's see, I got garlic, onion, habanero chilies, oh, see, I wrote it down because my little mind sometimes, I wanted to be sure I got it all. Onion. Okay, so let's just do it here from scratch. I'm going from scratch. Ginger root, horseradish root, habanero chilies, garlic, and onion. So you got 5 things. You've got 6 things counting your apple cider vinegar. Okay, so there's 6 items here. I'm going to go over it again. Ginger root, horseradish, habanero chilies, onion, and garlic, all crushed in your apple cider vinegar in a glass jar. You're going to put that on your sink, loosely covered. Don't cover it tightly because it's going to ferment for 2 weeks. This fermentation is going to be such a healer. You can't even imagine what this does. Okay, you leave it ferment for 2 weeks. Then you're going to strain it into another glass jar and throw the inside stuff that you know, the bulk or the pulp away. Throw the pulp away, put it down your garbage disposal. It's all mushy by now. And you keep that in the fridge. It'll stay in there for 5 years. It will not go bad. It's all fermented. And listen to me, you get a little jigger like this. And during flu season, if you feel like you're getting the flu, take it every day. Now, because it's so powerful, I mean, it's powerful, straight. I put half water and half flu brew, and then I down it. Now, during flu season, you do this every other day. And if you feel like you're getting the flu, do it every day. I've staved it off for 3 weeks. I have staved off the flu for 3 weeks. I'm not kidding you. I feel like I'm getting it, man, I start drinking my flu brew. I went without it for a week. I felt like my throat wanted to get sorry. I'm back at it because everybody around here's got the flu, whether it's the coronavirus or another one. It works for all of them. Now, you have that in your fridge for your family. Get it made today because it takes 2 weeks to ferment. People are over here borrowing from me now. I have a couple other friends who have made it, God bless them, and so we're kind of sharing till everybody's is fermented. That's my deal today. You know, God says in his word that he gives his people creative ideas. He has a way. Look, our flesh is fallible. Does this mean we don't trust God? No, this means we do trust God, and he gave us a way. He's showing us. What I don't trust is modern medicine. I don't like it. I don't like it. I like stuff like this. I like that open air therapy. I love it. That's God's way, okay? This is all God's stuff. He says in Genesis, I think 1 or 2, I think 1, he gives all the stuff, the veggies or the plants of the field for us, for our good, to eat. It's for medicine. It's for all that stuff. This is God's healing. So, no, it's not a lack of faith at all. It's actually wisdom, because our bodies are fallible. The flesh is fallible, and the flesh can get things. Even when you trust God, it can. Now, you have a less chance of getting it if you trust God. Way less. It's been proven. But you still can get it. I see lots of Christians that get sick, and it's not because they have a lack of faith. It's because, like all of us, we don't have the ability to believe the powerful things that God can do. Our little minds can't quite grasp it, so sometimes we succumb to things. Okay, did you like that one? It's different, huh? Now, with that said, this is Velma Hagar. See that little subscribe button down there? Hit it. Subscribe. I have lots of good stuff to share. And buy my book, Hidden Treasures in Secret Places, on Amazon.com. Notice I'm in my little beach room today. It's beautiful up here. So with that said, until next time, this is Velma Hagar bidding you a blessed day. Make your flu brew. Bye.